Muhammad that he knew well what he wants. And being a director with this experience on the ground, and then to add to it this academic degree, this is a real achievement. He was scared in the beginning, and he was going there in tears when he just remembered his father and his mother, his parents, who should be there beside him. But we all knew that whenever it comes to our parents, they are going to feel us even if they were not here. Muhammad, congratulations, and let's live together those few minutes with Dr. Muhammad Rabia.
Ma'am, whenever we are talking about studies and about being talented in such a thing, and to add to this with the studies, with the studying the story about it, how do you see the privilege or the development Muhammad is going to acquire after receiving his PhD?
I think Muhammad is a creative person. He is so wonderful. He just chose a very important thesis. It's how to create, not to direct only. It's how to create a program in sports. And this is, I think, is very important nowadays to attract many people, not just the youths, but all the people in Egypt.
Different ages.
Yeah, in different ages, they needs to deal with the sport in another point of view. It's not just to entertainment, but to cheer also.
اختيار محمد ربيع لهذا الموضوع.
Muhammad is a good student. He knew what he's talking about, and he's in love with his studies. He has such a big experience in directing. And about his choice, I loved his choice to base his study on university students. They are such a big sect of the society. When you care about them, you care about tomorrow, not about the future, not about far future, but about tomorrow. They soon will be those who are building the country.
We are very much delighted to have with us Professor Dr. Ashraf Sobhi, Professor of Sports Management.
Sports Management, yes.
And here we are going to talk about your administrative position, because here you are such an academic figure to discuss a PhD, especially in media and in direction.
My scientific life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whenever we are speaking about the difference between this and that, which is closer to your heart first?
My heart, and very close to it, my career as a professor in university. It's my base, my mind, my future, my history. So I like to be like that.
And because of this, you have such a kind of sympathy with those who are trying all the time to improve their way of thinking via studying. Isn't that true?
Yes, actually, all my career for the time being in the work and in the sports life, that's how to develop scientific issues and scientific career to apply in a practical life in sport. This going around the management, marketing, the finance, the fundraising, even some of that to the media and the relations of the media and the sponsor part of this.
I'm scared. And I should say that I'm working on this for 10 years now. I hope that my study is going to benefit all who are working in the media. And I also hope that my doctors are going to feel how much work I've done and how much I was exhausting in analyzing and in collecting all the data I put in my PhD thesis.
قررت لجنة المناقشة بإجماع الآراء نجاح الطالب في المناقشة ثم منحه درجة الدكتوراه في الإعلام وثقافة الأطفال مع التوصية بالتبادل بين هذه العمليات.
Those moments can never be forgotten. Whenever you're talking about moments of victory, of feeling that all the exhaustion and all the years of feeling that you did your best, only with those words and only with those moments you would feel you were really awarded. Moments of victory. Before going to my dear guest, I should thank my dear colleague, Amr Fathallah. He was that mad at me, by the way, because he is the one behind having this report. So thanks, Amr. As I said, we do have a special guest here, Lujain. Lujain, such a nice, lovely little girl, only 16. And when you see her, you would think that she is playing gymnastics, for instance, playing tennis, something like that, something delicate as she looks. But, by the way, she is a champion of fencing. And she was in the World Championship. She was ranked the 10th. And she also achieved or grabbed the 2nd place in the African Championship. Lujain, hello.
Hello.
I would say first congratulations, but why fencing? Why fencing?
I've been playing it from since I was 10 years old. It was by chance. It was totally chance. I was playing the modern pentathlon, and after that I had chosen just the fencing. It has been so much attractive to me because it was so much different.
You know, when it comes to the choice of a special game, the coach is very important. Have you found this kind of relation with a coach or two or whatever who had given you the opportunity to show your talent and to improve your performance?
Yes, I have lots of coaches who had directed me and give me lots of tips and hints to help me and to let me play with the good stuff and the good figure. As Coach Sharif Al-Bakri, Coach Khalid Sharif, Coach Khalid Yahya, Coach Ahmed Khalifa, Coach Medhat Al-Bakri, all of them had helped me to achieve what I have achieved.
But you know, fencing is not a popular game. And even if you were grabbing such positions and such awards and you were not that much awarded, I think you would not feel that good. I mean, or does it make a difference whether the media is focusing on you or no? I mean, is it only for yourself?
Yes, it's only for myself. I knew that the media would focus except on the football, the volleyball, the handball, but a sport like fencing, no one would focus on it except the fencers. Few people can concentrate with it, concentrate with the championships which is held in Egypt, but the people who focus on them are only the fencers.
But whenever you are victorious and whenever you are achieving something big, by any means like that, you are going to be found in the media and in front of the screens. And for instance, what was his name? Ala Said?
Yeah, his name was Ala Said.
Ala Said. He is an Olympic champion. So is Ala or the similar athletes or champions are your model or the examples you have in mind?
Yes, but Ala is, we have 3 kinds of fencings. Ala is the foil, but I'm another one which is called Saib. We had a young champion who is called Muhammad Aimer. He is my idol right now. He got the 3rd place in the World Championship and he has just got the 1st place in the Seniors African Championship.
Wow.
And he had been qualified to the Olympics, to Rio de Janeiro.
Where was those championships held?
The World Championship for Cadet and Junior was held in the Uzbekistan, in Tashkent in Uzbekistan, and the African Championship was in Algeria.
Regarding traveling abroad and participating in those competitions abroad, was it that easy for you? I mean, whenever we are speaking about a girl and such a nice young girl, and whenever we are also speaking about studies and things like that, where's your family?
My family has supported me from day one. They had encouraged me to be that champion and to be so much encouraging and so much caring for that sport. They knew from the first day that I'm going to travel and to travel all around the world to play internationally. But the studies has been a small problem who is facing any fencer, because in Egypt there's
any fencer or any athlete in general?
Any athlete, because there's no classifications and there's no schedules for the sports people who can help them in both them studying and the sport.
Then you are going to take me to ask how you are arranging your time. I mean, time planning here is very important, and it should be a key word in your life.
About the arrangement, lots of people, they don't study all the year. They just travel and play, and before the exams they stop totally training and they start to look for the studies and for their exams. Just
regarding the Olympics, is it one of your dreams, or is it a little bit delayed?
My dream is Tokyo, not the Rio de Janeiro. After 2020. My dream to bring a gold medal for Egypt.
But we do have someone who qualified to Rio de Janeiro, and we do have Mr. Medhat Al-Bakri, a member of the board member of the Egyptian Fencing Federation. Captain Medhat, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Sir, we do have one of your champions here, Lujain Al-Faramawi, and we are keen also to know more about the achievements of the Egyptian fencing in general. So I knew that there is a fencer who already qualified to Rio de Janeiro. Tell us more about him, or her. I don't know yet.
Today, Muhammad Amir, one of the Egyptian talented fencers, who is 18 years old and who got the third medal on the last World Championship Junior and Cadet in Tashkent. Today he just received the African senior champion today.
Then Muhammad Amir booked his ticket to Rio de Janeiro, Brasilia in the coming Olympic Games to represent Egypt. Do we have any other chances? I mean, do we have in mind other fencers who would also book their ticket to Brazil?
Yeah, we have many fencers that mostly book their ticket to Rio, because we still have 1 year also for qualification. So, but today's competition is very important because the points that they gain for the African Championship is a bit high. So most probably they book their ticket to Rio, inshallah.
How many?
Till the moment they are 5 fencers.
Is it something unprecedented? I mean, this is, I think, the first time that we do have 5 fencers to qualify to the Olympic Games. Or forgive my ignorance if I'm wrong.
The last Olympics we have more than this number, and inshallah we'll have more this year also, because we still have the chance to be qualified on the team event for the 6 weapons. So we still have a chance to increase the number of the fences.
Inshallah, Mr. Medhat Al-Bakri, board member of the Egyptian Fencing Federation, thank you very much for being with us, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Back to you, Luji, and back to your life as a fencer and in the same time as a student. You know, all the time when I'm speaking with a champion or an athlete who is going to go here and there to compete, whether nationally or internationally, I would think about his or her social life. Do you have a social life in the start?
Yes, I have a social life, and I have international friends from Algeria, from France, from Germany. We still keep in contact. They are so much lovely.
Great. Then your life before being an international athlete became different? I mean, your self-confidence, your way of dealing with people, your even way to think about the future. I'd like to have your way, I mean, how sports formed your character or shaped your character.
The way of dealing of people, I think my way of dealing with people hadn't changed so much. But my way of thinking of the future had changed a lot. My dream was just to bring a gold medal in the national competition. But just after that, I bring lots of international places. So I had more courage and courage.
We should confess that in the past 4 years, Egypt was in a political turmoil. It was a chaotic situation. To what extent these circumstances affected your going to your club, your hours of training, even fear about you from the family, about what's going on and things like that? I know that the case now is totally different. But I mean, by then, how was it as you were that young?
Those circumstances had stopped my training lots of times in the national team and in the club. We had to stop training because it was not safe for girls, for boys, and for the coaches also to train in that.
Where do you train, by the way?
Shams sporting team.
Okay.
And in the national team, it has been stopped so much times because it was not a safe place to train.
Unfortunately, but of course now the case is totally different.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah. How do you prepare for an international competition? I mean, for instance, just before the World Championship. I mean, do you train more? Do you go or enter into a closed camp, for instance? What to do?
Before the World Championship, I had a closed camp with the international team of Italy in Italy for 5 days. It has affected me a lot, and it has changed from my figure and from my way of playing so much.
This was my coming question, sorry. The tactics, the way, the new tactics or the new ways to perform. Do you take it only from the directives or the instructions of your coach, or you would go, for instance, on the internet to watch specific players, specific fencers, and for instance, the finals of international competitions? How do you acquire more data and more tactics?
Both. My coach affects me a lot, and he gives me lots of tactics, and also the international players and the fencers.
السادة أصحاب الفخامة السادة ملوك ورؤساء.
Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, heads of states and governments, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like initially to convey the greetings of the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, who wasn't able to participate in the summit as due to urgent commitments. I'd like also to express my greetings to participate in this important summit, and also to refer to the topic, the empowerment of women, as a main topic for the coming two summits in the this year, and to link the aspirations of the African Union to include this topic in the agenda of 2038. The aspirations of this agenda will be achieved without the empowerment of women, which is half of the society, and also to draft the required policies and programs ensuring the civil, social, economic rights, and to get rid of all forms of discrimination. Ladies and gentlemen, Chairperson, allow me to extend my greetings from this podium to the African women that played important role in the struggle to achieve independence from colonialism, and also great efforts exerted to establish democracy and deep-root peace and security, economic and social development. I'd like also to express appreciation to the Egyptian women that has historical role in the two revolutions, the 25th of January 2011 and 30th of June 2013. I pay a tribute to her role in the achievement of the roadmap, whether the constitution or the presidential elections. I am quite sure that they will continue playing this important role in the coming parliamentary elections, whether through voting and electing those who are eligible to take the seats of the parliament. Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, the Egyptian government was very keen to make the Egyptian women top the Egyptian agenda, out of our belief that the comprehensive development will not achieve unless the women is actively participate in this role. And also we are not caring about a specific category or a specific group of women. We are adapting comprehensive policy to promote and develop the position of women in different fields and from different categories, to enable and empower them all to enjoy their rights, and also to find mechanisms to provide funding for them, to encourage much more women to establish small and medium-sized enterprises, also to offer training to empower them all to do so, to pay attention to the rural women, as the agriculture and economic sector are top of our fields in our country, and the efforts exerted resulted in the promotion of the Egyptian women. The Egyptian constitution as well strengthened the rights of women. It has 20 articles that are linked directly or indirectly to the Egyptian women. They got important unprecedented rights and responded to their aspirations and needs. In order to empower them and enhance their role in the political, economic, social life, as well as the cultural life, the Constitution stipulates that the state is committed to deal equally with men and women, and to give them both all rights, and to take all measures required to provide equal representation for women in the parliament, in the public employment, top positions, senior positions, judiciary, without any form of discrimination, as well as the dependent, disabled, and most needy women are under the umbrella of attention. And also we are focusing on the elimination of all forms of violence and discrimination. The Parliament immediately will work on the approval of many legislations and review others to ensure the implementation of those articles to commit to the Constitution. The government as well will reform the plan and change the policies to implement such legislations. In the same context, the National Council for Women is taking efforts to apply comprehensive policy to ensure the economic development, reduce poverty, offer job opportunities, promote the principle of equal opportunities for both gender, and to complement the policies of the state in order to achieve the full benefits of the available potential. And that is part of our strategic goals and targets in order to achieve the agenda of 2063. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairperson, the African woman is facing challenging obstacles, the less education, the health position, female genital mutilation, and taking top positions. This requires from our states to enhance the efforts exerted to face such challenges. On the other hand, our continent still suffers from peace and security in different places in light of new forms of security threats like terrorism, organized crime, human trafficking, and women. Still, the most vulnerable category of these threats, as they are victims of sexual harassment, sexual violence in areas of conflict, and also they are target to the terrorist groups, as well as the human trafficking gangs. That's why I ask all relevant authorities to deal with these challenges and to take into account the nature of the problems faced by the women that is facing the discrimination based on race and gender. We have to find active solutions for these problems. We celebrate this year with 20 years of the Beijing Action Plan, and also what was drafted to be implemented of the action plan and agenda in the track, and also other plans and other mechanisms. We need to search what was achieved on the ground in order to build on the learned lessons and to implement the aspirations to ensure the implementation of the Agenda 2063. This is what we aspire to reach, real empowerment for the women, African women, and to improve social, economic, and political life. The chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to represent North Africa in this session. I'd like to pay a tribute and to express appreciation to the improvement achieved in this region recently in the last years, as the political role of women was activated after a long track of struggling to get their rights, and the women was in Egypt, Tunisia, Libya, participated to ask for the civil rights and social justice in the countries, and they gave good examples in this regard. Also, the countries in this region achieved tangible improvement at the level of the women practices. The women representation in the parliament increased clearly in Algeria, Tunisia, Mauritania, as well as the health situation and the academic situation improved as well in such countries. Efforts exerted to face violence, discrimination, enhancing women, empowering them to reach the deserved position in the society. We are working on them all. I confirm Egyptian support to empower African women and to promote her position, to keep the rights achieved and to secure decent life out of her role in the achievement of the political, economic, social life. Thank you very much.
I mean, do we have, let's be frank, do we have big names in that field to depend on?
Yes, yes. But we have not share. They have to, we have to cooperation between...
To cooperate between you and them. I mean,
yes.
This is the role of the federation or the clubs or you or who?
I think between national teams in federation, and Ministry of Youth and Sport, and the Council of Universities in Egypt, to
pave the way for this and to pick
as a
these
system.
the suitable doctors of nutrition to be responsible for those in our national teams. This is number one. Number two?
Second point, I think it's a preparation of mentality, of mental training, as it's a commercial name.
Mental fitness.
Mental training. Mental training, yes, okay. Mental training, mental fitness. We have to do this training. It's about 30% of preparate
30% of preparing is the mental
World Championship.
fitness. Yes, sure. Yes. Number three?
We have to support our players outside football and handball and volleyball. We not support
This is what
them.
we are doing, sir. I swear. This is what we are doing.
You know Ahmed Akram.
Yes.
You know engineer Isser Idris. I think he speak all time. Isser Idris, president of Egyptian Swimming Federation. All time talk about five. We know only Ahmed Akram and Farida Osman.
Yes.
It's another three aboard in the States or Canada or like that. Training hard, get up at 4 o'clock. And Egyptian...
Captain Farmawi, tell you, whenever you talk about Egyptians, we are very passionate. When you will find someone who is carrying the flag of Egypt and he or she raised it, he is going to be known. How many Egyptians knew about Ramya Ashur or Ranim al-Walili, or before Rania Alwani, or then even Ismail al-Shafi'i whenever we are speaking about tennis? Whenever you are distinguished in your sport and you were able to raise the Egyptian flag, you are going to be known. That's it.
We have to prepare to carry our flag. We have.
We are doing this already.
No.
Not yet?
No. It's an organizing. We have to organize this. We have to organize this. I think it's a social organized committee or committees and federations. We have to support our players outside Egypt. We have to support them psychologically, financially. We have to support. We have to have our organizer way to support them to carry our flags.
Captain Yasser Al-Faramawi, I'd like to repeat what you have said. Captain Yasser is the one responsible or carrying the responsibility of our national team of swimming. He has 3 demands. First, nutrition. Nutrition specialists for our players, especially those who are going and who should participate in international competitions. Second, also specialists in training our players mentally, because mental fitness is not at all less than physical fitness. Third, support. We should give support to our players whether inside or outside Egypt, and this support should be a whole way or a whole comprehensive way of support, whether psychically, whether socially, whether financially, whatever.
Media.
That's it?
Focus for them in media.
Did I convey the message?
Yes.
Sir, thank you very much for your input.
Thank you, bro.
And of course, we wish the best of luck to Lujain, and we promise that we are going to follow her achievements, a championship after the other. Yasser Farmawi, thank you very much.
Thank you.
After the short break, we're going to come that quickly because we do have many sports items also to discuss. So stay tuned on Nile TV International. We still have a lot in the score sheet. Welcome back. As we do not have much time, so it's Raneem El-Welili. Raneem El-Welili did it again. Raneem El-Welili is now the title holder of Alexandria Open of Squash. Raneem El-Welili ramps to Alexandria title. El-Welili emphatically boosted her bid to become the next women's world #1 when she dispatched fellow Egyptian Omnia Abdelawi in straight games in the final of Alexandria Open in her home city of Alexandria to claim the 10th WSA World Tour squash title of her career. It was an impressive performance by the Alexandria-born 26-year-old and who has held the second place in the WSA World Rankings throughout this year and is enjoying the best form of her life with final berths in all but one of her last 7 tour appearances. We should not forget that Raneem El-Welili defeated before Nicole David. Nicole David, who is #1, the Malaysian. And Raneem El-Welili had her final match against her teammate, I should say, Omnia Abdelawi. Omnia Abdelawi also did it, and she also had this emphatic way to defeat also Nicole David in Alexandria, and it took only 35 minutes for El-Welili to end the game 3-0 against Omnia. And I'd like just to say what she said. I couldn't have done this without my people, those around me this week. My husband, my family, the whole family, my coaches Ahmed Faragallah and Basim Makram, who came to be with me, but mostly my coach who couldn't be here this week, Haytham Iffat. This one goes out without you. El-Welili latest triumph in the $100,000 Alexandria International marked the third biggest WSA Tour title of her career, but her 2 biggest were also this year. The $118,000 Tournament of Champions in January and the $150,000 Windy City Open, and this was in March. El-Welili, congratulations, you did it. Many of the squash players are now once again trying to include squash into the Olympic Games. Even if you remember Khan, the one of Pakistan, who was the main rival of Ahmed Barada, the Egyptian, all the veteran players of squash, whether those retired or those still in the glass court, are doing their best to propagate for squash to be included into the Olympic Games. If this happens, I think that Egypt is going to have a lot of golden medals. We do have a lot of our players and our athletes in the on the top of the rankings, whether in men or in women. I'm not going to mention names, because if I'm going to mention names, of course I'm going to forget some. But let's say Rami Ashur and Raneem El-Welili. Let us say Amr Shabana and Omnia Abdelawi. Let us say the coming generation with Muhammad Sherbini and Noor Turk. A lot of players, whether men or in the men or women, and they are all in the top 5 at least. So we all hope that this is going to work. If we are going to go forward and to pick some heads of news, or to pick some headlines which were published, I'd like to focus on 1 or 2, but let's return to football a little bit. The African Cup holders Al Ahly set date for Esperance showdown. Esperance de Tunisia, of course. The Egyptian Giants have picked the 28th of June for their African Confederation Cup group stage kick-off against Tunisia Esperance. Well, Wael Gom'a, the football director, informed the Egyptian Football Association that the competition committee with the date to coordinate with CAF. Title holders Al Ahly are competing in Group A with Esperance Stade Malien of Mali and the Tunisian sides Esperance and Étoile du Sahel. Why I've chosen this in specific to speak about this? because I do not like to repeat the same mistakes. Al-Ahli is going to compete in that one, and some of his players are there already in the national team. And the Egyptian Premier League is going to be resumed on Tuesday. Exhaustion can deprive the players from good performance. I hope that the coaching bodies of all our teams who are participating in many competitions, whether inside or outside Egypt, are going just to have this and to have this in mind. Mohammed, are you not going to come? I asked Mohammed to come, but unfortunately he didn't want. He said that we are about to say goodbye, so I promised that he is going to be with me just to say Happy Ramadan or Ramadan Kareem to all our viewers. So stay tuned on Nile TV International, and same time on Nile TV. We're going to be back next week with another episode, but it's going to be in Ramadan, inshallah. On behalf of Dr. Mohammed Rabia, Amr Fathallah, myself, Nermeen Abdurrahman, and all our staff here, the staff of Studio 35, many thanks for watching and good night.